I love Japan.
I know I can fit. My older brother can fit, so I want to go. I've heard it's amazing.
I want to go. I'm so excited. And Marcus said that when he went, he said that, it's very, it's sensory overload. It's very intense, right? It's like a lot going on.
That's his impression. I like casinos because I like the ding, because I'm crazy, because my brain is like constantly going nuts. So for me, that's actually neutral.
That's how I feel.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, I feel calm in a casino.
I love the dings.
Me too. I love it.
dings.
I remember the last time we were in Vegas when I ate like 30 milligrams worth of edibles, and then that one thing, they have the electronic craps machine. It's got the big dice in it. I'm watching them just bow around. Like, that's fun.
It is fun.
$400 is gone. It's just gone.
But you're helping the economy. I'm helping the economy.
But Japan's got a lot of like kind of fun. It seems like themey restaurants and this was something I want to unpack because I have no fucking clue what it is that they're talking about and how often this is. This comes from the Daily Mail, highly reputable source.
Okay.
Japanese waitress is fired for mixing her own blood into cocktails at what this place called a quote-unquote problem child concept cafe.
Okay, that's interesting. It's called the Mandaji Cafe in Sapporo.
It's a Mandaiji con cafe daku, right?
It doesn't.
Nailed it.
You sound worse when you try to do it that way.
Now,
yes, very good.
The point of this place is it's in Sapporo, Hokkaido, right? The name I feel
you're trying.
I'm Alex Trebek here.
I'm happy that you're trying.
Yeah. Puerto Rico.
I hate you.
I don't like that. But it really works.
Uruguay. Congratulations.
Uruguay.
You're officially white.
All right.
Nice. But you say certain words correctly.
See, so everyone can know.
Look
when
at that.
I go to the Mexican restaurant, the meat's in the quesadilla. Immediately they know, like, ooh, that guy's international.
Authentico.
Now, this cafe is supposed to be a place where they hire troubled girls.
Okay.
I don't know what the hell this means. Now,
that's good. People get in trouble when they're younger.
It's weird. It's been a part of a bigger problem. Now, the cafe advertises itself as an establishment for quote unquote problem children.
I mean, as long as they're not being preyed upon by problem adults.
I'm certain that there's a little grabsies. And then it says the cutest girls who enjoy the darkness.
I see. Yeah.
It's a goth chick cafe.
Awesome.
Which, I mean, like, that sounds fucking amazing. I can't wait I want to go. But the girl that was arrested is that apparently, she wasn't arrested. She was fired and then given, I guess it was some kind of like fine but it was fine. But she was caught slipping her blood into a bunch of cocktails that she was serving to people.
Wow.
And now they're going to do it. They're literally just going to like clean it up and move on.
Of course. What else are you going to do?
They're getting rid of all the cups. Which is kind of crazy. I do feel like, you can't actually technically steam wash all these things. And it's just a little bit of blood.
Wow. So interestingly enough, the cafe owner tweeted a statement, and this statement is interesting because it sounds so sad. He says, please let me continue He says, please let me continue the store a little longer so I can be happy alone.
Yes.
I'll clean the store, change glasses, and dispose of alcohol that may have been contaminated. Once again, I am very sorry to have caused you trouble this time.
All he's trying to do is hire hot, troubled goth women in your neighborhood. And we need to support this man. We need to be there for this man. We need to support these poor goth troubled women. We need to bring them home. We need to invite them to our families. Man. We need to marry them and be with them.
We gotta go, bro. So in Tokyo, there's a snake cafe, a ninja-themed entertainment restaurant, and a variety of maid and butler cafes. Oh, that looks so fun.
And then a doctor did say apparently drinking the blood of other people is very dangerous.
But also, have you heard about this term?
But this is a bigger thing. Part-time job terrorism.
Have you heard of the term sushi terrorism?
This is all a part of this same thing. And I don't know whether or not it's happening in America or not. So it starts with the Japanese concept of part-time job terrorism, which is somebody that is not a salaried person, someone who's there in a temporary aspect, and then they fuck up a bunch of stuff. And a part of what that is sushi terrorism. I said in Japan, we have one here too, where you go to the conveyor belt restaurants.
I love it. We did it in Australia.
I love it. The conveyor belt sushi restaurants, and that it has been a social media, I guess, prank theme where you go and you ruin food that is kind of in a communal setting.
I will say this. It seems I mean, I understand, it's a public, you're communal eating, but the cops did arrest 2 diners. They're both 35 and 34 years old, and they were arrested for eating the pickled ginger from communal serving bowls using their chopsticks instead of serving utensils, but
because the chopsticks just came from your mouth.
Yeah, but do you need to be arrested? Because if Americans were held to account, it would be a pipeline from old country buffet to prison.
Oh, they would just be waiting. Boom, it would be like a speed trap for spittle.
It really would be.
And God knows what we would be.
Oh God,
the fucking.
I don't want to know.
Straight up, we would be the son of Sam and Jeffrey Dahmer of Spittle.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Because of just how much I spit.
I need more of the mac and cheese.
Excuse me, sir. I would like some Salisbury steak. My mic is wet.
I refuse to watch them do a contamination test on any buffet food. We know what they're going to find.
I can't.
And I need to have this lie live.
This is I've been saying this about the U.S. government.
Yes.
That's been the main issue I've really had with it over the last couple of years, which has been just lie better.
Can't we all
try harder with the lies?
Please.
Come with act like you love me. Act like you care if I get upset. Lie to me harder.
We're all living in a farce, and I would just because everyone's like, oh, everyone has their own reality now. And it's like all of it's fake. So let's just all agree on the fake one we want.
With the nice one, the cool one.
The coolest one possible,
yes.
And then everything will be fine because it's all made up anyway.
But it's difficult. They have to go and they have to really clamp down on these guys, right? They do, because if people are filming it, they're making their little funny content bits about it. People are going to get mad about it. You could see how that would fuck with sort of the tourism industry of Japan. It would fuck with the restaurant industry if it became publicly known that people like to stick their fingers in and out of all the sushi, which has now been kind of a social contract.
Oh God,
that we've all held ourselves to.
That reminds me of our friend has the only Ron Jeremy story that I know, which obviously he's a disgusting
gross.
Man. At the place that Lemmy would hang out at all the time.
Yeah, Rainbow Grill.
So apparently Ron used to use the bathroom by the kitchen and then come out of the bathroom without washing his hands and touch all the bread.
He's disgusting.
Isn't that gross,
I had a friend that also say that there was a pool where his apartment was. You could see him. He'd come out on his balcony and just unabashedly watch them all swim. They'd be swimming and he'd just get binoculars and just watch. And it's like, man, haven't you seen enough tits?
How much snooch do you have to see?
How much more? I mean, obviously, he's a serial rapist. So.
Well, speaking of Japan, let's talk about this when it comes to Monopoly. Do you like this story? There's 2 dudes and they were playing Monopoly.
What?
And it was in Brussels.
No, this other story.
And I will say this, Monopoly has led to more fights than crystal meth.
Well, now technically it's a hack subject, but you need to come back around to understand just how
it's not hacking. It's not hacking.
But because people talk about how Monopoly ruins relationships, but they don't really talk about how it ruins relationships.
It's almost like people think it's real money, but it's not. It's Monopoly money, which is also what real money is.
Well, it's because to true nerds, they all think that, your behavior within the game is kind of say something about your inner...
If you want to be a con man, you can.
You got to be. It's the game. You're trying to win the Monopoly. I'm trying to win this game.
The only thing you can't do is if you were the banker, you can't fuck with people's money.
I always did.
But you can screw people over. You can make horrible deals.
But this is the reason why I recused myself from Monopoly because I could not be trusted with the bank.
You're like my grandmother and Rummy Cube.
It's just because again, I don't see any stakes here. It's a game. It's fake
but you
money.
do have to stay within some parameters. Otherwise, the game is completely worthless.
But that's why I moved away from that. Went to Risk, which is a true merit-based game.
Yes. So in Brussels, there was 2 dudes, and one guy got into a fight because he didn't like the approach that the other Monopoly player was taking.
Of course, because some people really do the land grab. Because it depends on if you guys are trying to suck up as many properties as possible, or you're the type of person trying to line up proper properties in order to possibly and then flex hotels.
And what's so interesting about this story is around 5 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
On April 2nd, a group of 4 people had been playing the board game.
Alcohol was involved
on the sidewalk.
Oh yeah, that's a really intense street game.
Well, I think it gets more intense if you're actually homeless. Then it's like, whoa, it's very serious.
You're playing for keeps. Yeah.
So the participants were loud enough to wake up the neighbors, a father and a son.
Yeah, can you imagine?
And they're like, get the hell out of here.
You're homeless, but you're playing a capitalist in a game. I would just be ruthless.
Yes, things quickly got heated between the players and the father-son duo, resulting in the son bringing out a katana sword for defense. And then they ended up going to battle in real life with the sword.
The sad part about that story is the fact that it was sheathed